Captain Jack here. ROMhacking.net is shutting down. This site was by far the biggest ROM hack hosting site, and what made it special was just the amount of range it had. Every retro system was represented in some way, and it really was a central hub that was both easy to navigate and a great place to get started on your ROM hacking adventures. And although it still seems to be up for the time, being in a sort of read-only mode, I've decided to gather what I think are the 10 best ROM hacks from ROMhacking.net that show the range and the highest of highs of the hacks featured on this site. This selection will be pretty spread out, so there'll be something here for everyone. Let's get started. Return to Dinosaur Land is the classic Super Mario World hack. It may not add any new assets or mechanics, but what you get here are some of the best levels ever featured in a ROM hack ever. I mean, seriously. These are on par with the original game's level design, and the new Ice and Water worlds explore parts of the game that were barely touched on in the original. With its ever so slightly increased difficulty, it basically serves as a sequel to Super Mario World. And if you're just starting your dive into the extensive world of Super Mario World ROM hacks, this is the absolute best starting point. This may be the most famous Sonic hack. It's Sonic Megamix. If you can believe it, this is actually a hack of Sonic 1. But there are so many characters and abilities crammed in here, with Sonic having a ring-following dash and double jump, mighty shield storage mechanics, and Shadow's ring-eating boosts that let him go from 0 to 60 in an instant. There are plenty of new zones and music grabbed from all over the Sonic franchise here as well. And if you master the new moves, this may be the fastest you will ever go in a Sonic game. ROMhacking.net never had the latest Sonic hacks, but it had a great collection of the classics. Now, if only Shadow had a gun in this. This spot really goes to a collection of hacks. That's right, I'm talking about colorization hacks. Also called DX hacks, these take original pea soup Gameboy games and bring them into the world of color. The best of the bunch here are Metroid 2 DX, Kirby's Dream Land DX, and of course, Super Mario Land 2 DX. For many of these games, these hacks are the only ways to experience them in full color, and ROMhacking.net always had a fine collection of these. What more can be said about Star Fox EX that hasn't been said? This hack of the original Star Fox truly turns the game upside down, with a million features like dozens of new ships to choose from, weapons, and new game modes. There's even an entirely new campaign with custom levels and bosses. SNES Star Fox often gets a bad rap as being a game made obsolete by Star Fox 64, but now it has more content than even that game, and it's all playable in local multiplayer too. Smash Remix takes the original Smash Bros. And turns it upside down with new levels, features, and tons of new characters. And these aren't just clones, no, they're many returning fighters from later Smash games, and even a few all-new characters. It manages to expand the game with new settings and modes without touching that unique hyper-offensive gameplay only seen in the first Smash game. So even if your main was brought back in this hack, it doesn't mean they'll play the same. This is easily the biggest Super Smash Bros. Hack ever made, and ROMhacking.net may not have the latest update anymore, but for most of this hack's development, it was the easiest way to find the patch file. Another spot going to multiple hacks, this time it's just all those wacky Streets of Rage 2 hacks out there. They usually only swap the characters out for new ones, but the lengths some of these hacks will go is astonishing, with new moves and even extra character slots. There are so many of these: Spider-Man, Street Fighter, Mega Man, X-Men, Scott Pilgrim, and of course, Steven Seagal, just to name a few. The top placing has to go to the Ditto hack that has you transforming into different Pokemon all over the place, and the Looney Tunes hack that has an almost Smash Ultimate level roster. There are seriously like 100 of these, and something is here for everyone. Kirby's Halloween hack might be the least known hack on this list, but it's absolutely underrated. Not only is it one of the only Kirby's Adventure hacks, or really Kirby hacks in general, but it's a complete overhaul, with new enemies, levels, and all of it's redrawn in this beautiful Halloween style that matches how colorful the original game was. Some of my favorite changes are the boss makeovers and the redrawn copy ability cards. This hack may have a spooky theme, but don't let that stop you from playing it at any time of the year. Paper Mario Black Pit is a little bit unusual. This hack of the original Paper Mario turns the story-driven RPG into a roguelike. You'll go deeper and deeper into the black pit as you try to make it out of this seemingly never-ending maze. There are 2 pits to start out with, one that saves your progress and allows for upgrades to be carried over into your next run, and one that starts you with absolutely nothing, except you get to keep the money you have upon death. There's actually way more than just that though, as the hub will open up with more and more features as you play the game. You can sink hours and hours into the black pit, and it's one of the most creative hacks I've ever seen, and it's for a game that doesn't even have that many. Rockman No Constancy is basically Mega Man 2 retold, with an all-new soundtrack, replaced tile sets, and modified attack patterns. It even redraws Mega Man in a newer, almost Mega Man X art style. It's exciting to see the new twists on the 8 classic Robot Master levels, from Woodman stage being covered in a fresh sheet of snow, to Airman stage having an ancient Rome, almost Kid Icarus style to it. Mega Man hacks can be hard to find out in the wild, and ROMhacking.net always had a healthy collection. But of all of them, Rockman No Constancy always stuck out to me, and it's the one I recommend. Super Mario Bros. 3 Mix is one of the best hacks ever made of one of the best games ever made. New enemies, new power-ups, and all of the worlds have been based off different Mario games. There's even Yoshi in this hack. There is just so much to explore here, and it honestly redefines what a ROM hack can even be. I didn't even mention the new soundtrack and completely different level set, because that's a given for this game. Of course 3 Mix would have that. It's 3 Mix. This one always stuck out to me when I reviewed it years ago in one of my earliest videos, and if there was just one hack you try from this list, let it be this one. 3 Mix is an absolute winner in a sea of winners. And for the time being, all of these hacks are still available on romhacking.net, and they'll be linked in the description below, so grab them while you can. Which hack was your favorite? Let me know in the comments below, and if it was the Steven Seagal Streets of Rage hack, you can leave.